Sean Haney here with RealAgriculture.com and Real Ag Radio. We're joined right now by Craig McLaughlin. He is president of the Beef Farmers of Ontario. Hey, Craig, great to chat with you.
Yeah, thanks for the invite, Sean.
Okay, well, important stuff happening. A lot happening in the beef industry. There's no shortage of issues, but really, I was in Ontario this week, and when I was talking to people who are involved in the cattle industry, you don't get very far in the conversation without somebody mentioning the strike that's happening at that Guelph Cargill plant. 1,500 head a day, 900 plus workers on strike. How is this impacting the cattle industry in the province?
Well, in a huge way, it's really impacting us because they estimate 75 to 80% of the total Ontario production goes through that plant. So when that shuts down, everyone feels it.
Yeah, so where are those 1,500 head that would be slaughtered at that plant? Where are they going? Are they staying basically on feed, or are they finding relief to get shipped to other Ontario plants or even into states like Pennsylvania?
It's a bit of everything. Some will stay at home, some will move out of the province, some will be move out of the country, and some will, they'll find places in our other provincial plants.
Has it had any impact on live cash cattle prices in the province here? We're, less than a week into this strike, but are we seeing an impact on the prices?
Well, that's the interesting story. The cattle stats will be compiled and released later today about the auction marks this week. And so I haven't seen them. Last week it seemed to be business as usual. I did not see a decrease in prices, and the volumes seem to stay the same. But I'm usually going on, I'm not a feedlot owner. I raise cattle from birth and up to a certain weight. So I mean, my local market, it hasn't affected. Same volume, same prices as last week for this week.
Kind of surprising, because I heard the same thing last night as well when I was doing some research for our discussion here. We're recording just after lunch on Friday on June 7th. I'm kind of surprised by that because we've seen other strikes at other plants. It's not necessarily the case. It's a bit of a mystery, maybe.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think one of the things is we have a product that people want. So, whether it's grain-fed beef from Ontario or across this country, there is a demand for it. So I think other outlets, maybe they have increased production to push some of this product out of Ontario through. And it's hard to get stats because when it leaves the province, we don't get stats, crosses into Quebec, leaving on the east side, on the west side, leaving into Manitoba. We won't get those stats. If it's leaving the country, it takes a while to accumulate export stats. So, I don't have a number on the how many cattle are leaving or how many being processed, but so far, I think things are holding.
From the Beef Farmers of Ontario's perspective, what are when you're talking to government, I'm not sure if you talk to the union or to Cargill, what's the messaging? What are you encouraging them to do? Like just speed this up and hurry up and find a deal, or what's the ask, I guess?
Well, that would be great if the things got sped up and they came to an agreement. But bottom line here, it's Cargill is it's a large corporation and they hold their cards close to their vest. It's a labor union. They're not going to reveal their negotiations. We're not involved. Obviously, it's two parties. They have to come to agreement, hopefully sooner rather than later. As far as us, I mean, we have reached out to the government. We have put some proposals if this carries on that maybe we can help our members across the province of Ontario.
What kind of proposals are we talking about then?
Well, the bottom line is cattle have to go somewhere. They can't just stick around and just get heavier in a feed yard, and it affects everyone. Like someone like myself, eventually I have cattle that will need to move to a feed yard, so everything gets backed up. So we put proposals. Let's get some money there to for transportation subsidies. Let's move the cattle somewhere. We don't care where, but they have to leave. They have to get processed. We threw other ideas at them too. The risk management program in Ontario, it's our safety net program. Let's throw some more dollars into it. and let's speed up the payment, the next payment, because everyone has bills to pay, and usually bills have to be paid sooner rather than later. And then, a far out proposal is a set aside program. We're not really happy with a set aside program in that when Cargill had a COVID outbreak, and at the time, the problem is cattle just don't leave and everything still gets backed up. So if we can move cattle out, which they do need to move out, then it would work certainly better in our favor.
You, typically, we don't see a whole bunch of excess processing capacity just hanging around waiting for a plant to go on strike. So the longer this strike happens, you do have to wonder how the province would actually stay as current as they need to. Although it has been encouraging here in the first week. Do do you think this is with this plant being 80% of the Ontario kill capacity? Do you feel this is an example for the province needing more processing capacity?
We've been saying that for years. Yes, we rely on one major player. Yeah, but if anyone wants to invest in processing capacity in Ontario, we're not going to stop you because it's a long-standing issue.
Well, and I mentioned government earlier, and the big news on Thursday night was the fact that you have a new minister to talk to. Lisa Thompson is no longer the Minister of Agriculture in Ontario, and a familiar face to many in the agricultural industry, especially on the livestock side. Rob Flack is now the minister you'll be dealing with.
Yeah, certainly it's big news. First of all, Lisa Thompson was a quality person, and I got along great with Lisa, and it was good to see a portfolio that agriculture is still male dominated, and Lisa was there, and she championed for everyone, and I wish her the best. Rob Flack is no stranger. He actually has a cattle operation not too far from me in Renfrew County. He's certainly a businessman. He's done well in business in the agricultural world. So, yeah, we welcome Rob Flack, and we will be discussing this situation sooner rather than later.
Well, hey, Craig, I really appreciate you joining us here. I know you got a busy afternoon going to a conference, so I'll let you get to it. And let's check in again as if hopefully the strike doesn't continue, but we definitely want to keep updated on it from a producer's perspective.
Well, Sean, hopefully next time we speak, talk together, we're celebrating that the Cargill is back to full production.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.